All right, Vinny, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I just finished practice maybe an hour ago.
To jump back to the UFC for you, were you expecting this?
Here's the thing, when I got into the UFC, I wasn't really training myself to be I was training to try to be like an MMA fighter. I wasn't just doing the right way. So, the whole thing for me was just to focus back then, was just to focus on my ground game, because I knew that nobody was gonna be submitting me like in MMA. But that was just the wrong approach to the sport. And then once I got dropped by the UFC, then I started to really focus on try to refocus on my career, and think on new things that I should be doing. I should be working on my striking. I should be working on my wrestling. And, and I really decided just to focus on this. Even though I competed in Abu Dhabi twice since I was dropped by the UFC, I wasn't doing anything specific for Abu Dhabi. I was just competing, but the whole training was just MMA training. Once UFC cut me the first time, I was that's it. I just want to go there, go back, and perform at the highest level, which I still believe that I can, because I believe one thing, if you can be a high level athlete in any combat sport, in my case in jiu-jitsu, I don't think it's impossible for you to be as high level as you could in MMA. I think there's a little difference. Of course, you have to start to work on your striking. You got to work on your wrestling, but if you can be a high level at something, I'm sure you can be high level something else. So
when looking back, do you have any regrets on entering the Ultimate Fighter? Because a lot of people thought, hey, it's only a matter of time before they sign Vinny anyway.
That would not happen back then. When I got on the show, I was only 2-2, and like I said, I wasn't with that mentality of just just do jiu-jitsu, because nobody would touch me on the ground. And I was just the only thing that was good for me to be on the Ultimate Fighter was to realize that I had to get better. That was good. That was actually the best thing that happened to me, was to go to the UFC, lose, and get cut. It was that made me realize that I had to get better. And one other thing, too, I doubted the UFC would bring me back with a record of 9-5 if it was not my experience on the Ultimate Fighter. I'm pretty sure, they're not bringing a whole lot of guys with that kind of record. So, me being an Ultimate Fighter and, making it in the finals, winning ATC, they all counted for me to be back, this soon. For me, I would have done at least a couple more fights, which I'm not complaining. UFC offered me another opportunity. I'm not gonna say it now, but I would have might get a couple other fights out of the UFC before getting back, just because of the numbers. Nothing to do with skills, skill level, because I never thought of once I decided to focus in MMA, I felt I was deserving to be in the UFC. But it's just for numbers, because you see a lot of guys they're 12-0, 20-0, and they suck just because they pad their records really well. Which I don't feel that's my case. I have a shitty numbers, but I feel skill wise I'm up there with some of the best.
Oh, I agree. And when you left the UFC, you went what, 7-1?
7-1, yeah. With all finishes here.
I think you achieved your goal of getting better.
Yeah, that's for sure. And here's the thing: in my last 2 of my last 3 fights were knockouts. So one was a TKO on the ground, but it's still in that fight I dropped the guy with the right hand. So it's I feel I'm improving in the air series. Not you keep being the submission guy. Not really. I'm getting better out of the airs. My focus is still taking the fight to the ground and finish it there, because that's what I like. But I'm not as uncomfortable as I used to be on my feet. If I cannot take the fight to the ground, I can figure myself out on my feet now.
Well, Ed Suarez and I were talking. It seems like coming out of Brazil, it seems like there are more knockouts coming out of those countries than submissions.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys Jose Aldo, his background is jiu-jitsu. People don't know that, but the guy was when he was competing in jiu-jitsu, he was one of the best. When he was a brown belt, he was one of the best brown belts in jiu-jitsu. And now, you look at him fighting, it looks like he's a Muay Thai guy. And he's dominating. He's not just a good striker. He's dominating in the air too. So it's weird how things work, especially in Brazil, because everybody thinks, oh, he's from Brazil. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. So he might be good on the ground. Then you get all those guys especially from Nova União. You get all those guys knocking people out, beating them up on their feet. So it's it's been changing a lot the way the people who work on the MMA game.
Well, you're actually the jiu-jitsu trainer at Extreme Couture, right?
Well, I actually quit my job so I could just train full time. That happened last week actually, but up until last week, yes, I was the jiu-jitsu coach there, and now I'm just trying to focus on my career as a fighter. I'm still training Extreme Couture, but I'm not teaching classes anymore.
How hard was that a decision to make?
At first, the only problem was financially, because I don't make like a lot of money throughout the year. Like, I make more money when I'm fighting. That's when I get the big chunk of money. But I have to think about, like, it's not just me. It's like me and my family. I have like almost a 2-year-old son. So it's not just about me. I got to think about like everyone, and I'm the only one working in the house too. So it's like I cannot just be selfish. It's like, I'm not going to work, and we're going to focus on this, and whatever happens. So I had to really think about it. Then I got a monthly deal for MMA Elite. So like they've been sponsoring me monthly. And that totally helped me. So it was like, well, now I can actually make that move, So I pretty much, I was pretty lucky to sign the deal with MMA Elite to hook me up with like this monthly deal, and that's what made me make the decision, because I think that was the best move I could make too. Like, it's really hard, even though like I wasn't teaching like that many classes. It's hard for you to be like, 4 hours a day in the gym training and have to say like another hour, like 3 hours teaching. It's just like, it's tiring. Like, it seems like you're in a full-time job, but it's a full-time job that you actually like, you can tell like physically and mentally too. So it was good for me to quit my job at this point.
The judging in MMA has changed quite a bit, but to me, it still seems like grapplers have a hard time with the judges. Do you feel the same way?
Well, yeah, it's going to take a while, too, like, I think they get like a little more educated, but like, here's the thing: I would actually somehow agree with some of the judges. Like, well, even though you can be dominant in grappling, let's say you can get the guy down, pass his guard, mount him, but if you're not like causing damage, or like you're not looking like you're trying to finish the fight, and that's why like I kind of agree sometimes with some results. Like I can't remember what fight it was. I think it was Miguel Torres not too long ago. He was. I can't remember who he was fighting, but he was like being like pretty like aggressive off his back. He was playing like rubber guard, or like playing all kind of like style, like attacking submissions. But I was like, there's no damage in that, like, and trying to go for a submission is not the same as having a submission fully locked. And a lot of people think, well, but he was going after it. It's like, dude, that doesn't mean anything. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I wish that could have meant something, but in reality, if you don't have it fully locked, if it doesn't look like the guys are gonna tap, it doesn't look like it's gonna break anything, you're not causing damage. I'm the jiu-jitsu guy, but I wish it was that way, but it's not, And with strike, it's different. When you punch somebody in the face, you try to cause damage. You try to, like, cut somebody, try to knock somebody out. So, I somehow understand some of the judges, but then you see, like, some of the judges, too, like, in fights, I would say, like Nick Diaz and Carlos Condit, that fight, like, I'm one of the guys that agreed with that fight. That result was a BS, because, like, I thought it was like you could never win a fight just running away the whole time. So
right.
Your judges are, it's a kind of complicated subject. Like, they make mistakes, which it's normal, like in any kind of profession. But I think like eventually they're gonna figure that out. Especially when you start to have like former like athletes as judges. For now, we just have like a bunch of like old boxing judges like judging MMA. I would say like from 5 to 10 years from now, like probably you're gonna have like other like former like MMA athletes judging, and that's gonna make it a little bit easier on everybody.
But now that you've re-signed with the UFC, how much grappling do you plan on doing in the future?
Well, as for tournaments, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Let's say like next year, it's ATC year. I'm the Korean champion, so I do have a spot guaranteed. So I don't have to be waiting to be invited. I don't have to go to tryouts. But here's the thing: my priority it is MMA. So if let's say usually it's in September, so if I have a fight in August, then I'm likely competing in ATC. But if I have if ATC is a couple months before a fight, I'm not. And I would love to go there and win ATC again, but that's not my priority anymore. It wasn't even like my priority last year. I never stopped training MMA. Like when I went to Abu Dhabi last year, actually that was my whole training for that tournament. Like, I was just focusing on my fight. It was like 2 weeks after ATC. And that's all I did. I was just focusing on my striking, wrestling. I would grapple like doing my MMA training, but I would not just do grappling just for ATC. So, I might compete, I may not. And likely, if I do compete next year, likely it's going to be the last ATC that I'm going to be doing. I'm not one of those guys that, are hungry for medals or grappling status. Like they want to be like 5, 6, 10 times like champion, like in something. And I don't think it that way, I would love to be defending a belt in MMA like 10 times, but like in grappling, I'm not one of those guys that want to be like 10 times world champion to prove something. That's for me, it's kind of pointless.
Seems like everybody kind of has a nemesis. Do you have a beef with anybody in the jiu-jitsu world?
I never had like a beef with anyone like in the jiu-jitsu world, but there's just one guy. Like I don't even know if he's real from the jiu-jitsu world because I've never heard of his name before. It's the Renato guy. I was at the expo the other day, and I just bumped into each other, and the guy just started talking smack to me.
Vinny, can you hold on a second? There's another call coming through. I think it's Pedro. Pedro, what's up, man?
Oh, what a tangle web we weave. When first we practice to talk some bullshit about me.
That guy, really?
Why you say?
Really? This guy again?
That's really. Why you try? I can't hear you.
Dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the interview because if don't. I'm gonna talk. Both you guys was already talk a lot of stuff. And when you put I'm going to listen to this interview and make me sick, but I wasn't going to call. Then when you put my name in your mouth, Vinny Magalhaes, then you have a problem with me.
Dude, I have a problem with you. Like, when you were at the expo, like, you didn't say anything to my face. You were just like, I told, like,
I said everything to your face.
And you just ran away. You just ran away. Like, what did I say? Yeah.
And I can't do nothing like that because I
knew. You started talking and just ran away.
You can watch the video. I say everything to your face. You don't want to do nothing. I don't run away. That's bullshit.
That's what's going to happen.
You talk a lot of stuff. You talk a lot of stuff on the interview like you was a big guy. Oh, I don't like when guys run away from me. From Nick Diaz, all that kind of stuff. You're such a phony, and you say you don't want to do some stuff because you don't want to defend your jiu-jitsu belt. That's bullshit. If they pay you, it don't matter how much they pay. All you care about is money. If they pay, you're gonna go do that. And you know what? Your name,
not really.
They call you Pezão.
As a matter of fact, what do you know about like defending titles? Like, have you ever even competed before?
Oh, no, I never competed.
Like
No, you can't get. I never had 27-time world champion. No, because I don't compete. They just give me that because I'm so cute.
I never heard of your name before.
Because I'm so good looking.
What 27-time champ of what?
You want to know something?
Before.
That's funny that you talk about that because coming from M1 where nobody heard about you. And they call you Pezão. And I know that people don't know, but that means Bigfoot. And the reason they call that guy Bigfoot because it's like Bigfoot, you never see that guy. You try to find that guy, you try to take some pictures of that guy, and he's nowhere because Vinny Magalhaes was in M1. He was in Magalhaes 1 in Siberia.
Yeah, that was my own. That was my own event, and I went there and I beat everybody. I beat all the like guys from Russia, all the like Sambo guys.
Yeah,
like you.
Exactly. You beat a lot of guys from Russia. That's why they give you another guy from Russia. That guy, what's that guy's name? Igor. They give you Igor, the guy who worked for Frankenstein, so you can beat that guy too. But then you can't beat no Brazilian guy.
He's actually from Croatia. He's from Croatia. He's not from Russia.
So what? It's the same to me. He can be from Transylvania. I don't care about that stuff. You just better hope they don't put you against Darth Vader again. He's gonna treat you like how Darth Vader treat that guy Billy D. Williams. He's gonna put a choke on your neck.
Who is Darth Vader?
That guy Chaim Vader.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was the guy that got lucky, like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that guy lucky.
I know who you're talking
about. Just like how you got lucky when you. Just like how you get lucky to kick that guy with a capoeira kick and like a soccer kick. That guy, what's that guy's name? Mikhail Zaya, whatever the guy's name. You kick that guy, he was ready to beat you.
Yeah, dude, you're just talking things that makes no sense. Just saying things that make no sense
but
at all.
Everybody knows. All they have to do is go to the videotape, and you're gonna see that I'm right. Everybody knows that I'm right. And you know what? I don't want to bring this up, but you even lost to that guy George Bush in 2007 at that GFC Evolution. I don't know how you lost to that guy.
That was when I had just moved to the country. I was like, dude, you have to love George Bush. At that time, he was the president, so I had to lose to him. It was more like out of
George
respect.
Bush. You're a loser.
Know what respect means, but yeah, that was out of respect. That's the guy was the president of the country, so I had to lose to him.
Yeah, that's right. I can't stand that you walk around and think like you're a big tough guy. Everybody think you're something special. You get away with everything because you look like that guy, that Puerto Rican guy from the '70s show. You look like a big stupid version of that guy.
I have no idea who you're talking about. And by the way, dude, I thought I was gonna have a serious interview and they get a clown.
You can have that.
Line, so
hey, listen, you know what? Let me tell you something, Vinny. If you think you're gonna have a serious interview, how come I heard you was late to this one? Because you was going to get you chiropractor.
Dude, that's a part of being an athlete. You don't know what that means.
Like
I said, you probably never trained before.
Yeah, so he can stick his finger in your mouth.
You don't know how that. You train hard. Do you know what train hard means? You never train hard. You never train in your life.
I know how to train hard, but I don't need. I'm from the old school. I'm from the old school, Vinny. I don't need a guy that witch doctor to put his finger in my mouth to align my jaw, and then he's gonna stick his finger in your ass so he can check your prostate. And then who the hell know what's gonna come from there? Before you know, you're gonna be singing like that guy Chevy Chase. You're gonna be singing Moon River.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know, because you don't know nothing, because you're stupid. I can't hear you. You're like a mush mouth. You gotta stop because you go to Hollywood.
I'm trying to mock your accent because you sound like really retarded. Actually, you sound stupid.
Oh, you don't sound like you have an accent. You sound perfect, like a perfect white guy. And that's another thing.
I'm white.
If you want to get serious, what's that?
I'm white.
Speak up.
Speak
up. I can't hear
white,
nothing.
So that's why I sound like a white guy.
You know what? That you make me sick, Vinny Magalhaes, and I'm gonna get serious now. I was say a lot of funny stuff, but I'm gonna get serious now because you talk a lot of shit about my mama, and I don't think.
Dude, it's not like I want you to. I went on Twitter the other day, and like even Eddie Bravo, I heard even Eddie Bravo was having something with your mama, like. I heard she's a dirty woman. So like, what can I do?
I mean, when I get emotional because you talk too much stuff about my mama, and I mean that's where I'm gonna draw the line. And I know you said you have some intercourse with her, and I have to believe that's a lie. And she don't even go for you're not even her type, and especially you mama.
All right.
To talk about my mama, when your mama is so ugly, your mama is so ugly, your dad take her to work with him every day so he don't have to kiss her goodbye.
All right, dude. Try to be funny with that one. That was not funny at all. That was not funny at all. And dude,
on top of that,
I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Next time I see you, you gotta figure something out. Like you can bring your friends with you. Next time I see you, like then you try to act like a tough guy. Then you try to talk all this smack like on my face. But for now, I'm done with you. I'm gonna hang up. I thought it was gonna be a serious interview, and you just like they put a clown line. So like I don't want to talk to you anymore, and I'm done with this. I'm out of here.
Go tell Dana White that you're afraid from me, and I make fun of you, so you can cry to him. Sean, you here?
Yeah, hey, Renato, I'm here, man. I just kind of sat back and let you do your thing, bro.
That's the kind of guy you're dealing with. The guy, he's not a real champion. He's not a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's a bad example from Brazil. And I don't know why you even have him to go on the line, because you see that stuff as soon as they have some heat, he's go away from the kitchen.
I think he's legit. I think he's a great guy. So I just kind of sat back and shut up, man. I love you both. I just don't want to get in the middle.
Hey, look, and the stuff, he said a lot of fake stuff about my mama. The stuff, when I say stuff about his mama, is the truth. Like that guy, his mama is ugly. His mama don't look good. I'm sure you heard about the new story. Some guys back in Brazil was breaking into her house, and she was a yell rape. And then those guys said no.
I love you to death, but you're so wrong.
Hey, look, I mean, just tell it like it is. And Vinny Magalhaes, I know you're listening out there somewhere, anytime, anywhere, my brother. I'm gonna put a choke to you never felt before, and you're gonna see what is the real deal, because you've been pussyfoot around over in Russia, and now it's time to come back to the big boys. Come down to 185 and see what's gonna happen to you, Vinny Magalhaes. I'm gonna wipe that stupid smile from your face. You look like a big fat macho Hector Macho Camacho. You wanna talk about somebody to be done with you? I'm done with you, Vinny Magalhaes. I'm gonna wipe my hands of you, and that's now I'm get upset, and I'm gonna go. And so to everybody out there in the BJPen.com world, I'm gonna say to you, good night and caralho.